Let's talk about Defiance. Okay, what is this song about? I would say that this song is essentially about standing up for what you believe in. That is the cheesy one-liner. But this one has a particular background to it because I wrote this song a couple of years back. It was actually 2018 when I was starting Komodo Fox. I was in another band and I wrote it for when I was in that band to be performed. So I would say that over time the lyrical content stayed the same more or less, but the form the instrumental part evolved in different ways. And what happened was my girlfriend traveled to Cuba in that year 2018 if I'm not mistaken, and I grew up in my context, the way I grew up in Brazil with family, school, whatever social landscape around me. It was always the image I would have of Cuba was the worst possible, right? And I think the impression that my girlfriend shared with her firsthand experience was different from the impressions. Of course, I mean, I also today have my own personal opinions, my own political view of things, but I don't know much about the country, and I don't know much about the country's history. And she told me some things, that going to museums and talking to locals and so on. And it was super interesting. Like I was just curious about it. And mostly there was one central figure, which is the inspiration for the song, which is Che Guevara. And that historical figure, I was quite fascinated with. So it started with this kind of, the seed came from the stories that she was telling me and the experiences. But then I thought, I just realized I don't know so much about it, so I just want to read a bit. And so the song is about me after I actually watched the movie, a Hollywood movie directed by Steven Soderbergh, and it's starring Benicio Del Toro. That movie called Che. It was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 2-part movie, and I really liked it. It was very engaging. I love the movie. So this song is essentially me trying to visualize Che Guevara's last hours and how much he would actually question his beliefs and motives. And and that's all in the background. My intention with it was a bit this thought-provoking thing of, I don't know what to think about this person. I think historically speaking, his impact is tremendous, right? But it's also, I think it's also hard to say it's all good or all bad, right? There's a lot of bad things that happened, but a lot of good things came from him and Fidel's fight for the Latin American freedom and sovereignty, whatever how you pronounce that. And so I just thought, it's gonna be interesting to write about this divisive figure. And yes, so the inspiration was that when I write right at the beginning of the song, there's the verses are going, "You got me, there's no way out, heart pounding, blood on the ground. It started with me, it's all you can see. There's no place to hide." I was trying to visualize, because at least in the movie there is this scene, right? There's this thing that the Americans found Che, I think he was in Bolivia, and they imprison him and want to interrogate him, and they're gonna kill him. He knows it. So that is the main inspiration of the song. Musically speaking, I wanted to go for a Nirvana style of song, right? With very straightforward, simple chords. It's a simple, like, harmonic structure of the song. But also, interestingly enough, if in the guitar solo you will notice, of course, the inspiration from Rage Against the Machine, from Tom Morello with the whammy and with the high notes. But in the verses, it's very bass driven with the right. The whole song is pretty much like this. And in the verses, it's only the bass and vocals and drums, so the guitars are sitting back in the mix, like just going quiet for a while. And there are many iterations of this song where I wanted to go with the more Red Hot Chili Peppers approach there in the bass, because being Red Hot being very strong on the bass lines, getting more funky in the verses. But ultimately we decided not to go so much into that direction, because it would be very disjointed with the song. But those are the three musical inspirations I would name: this mix of Nirvana, Rage Against the Machine. I think Nirvana generally with the structure of the song, Rage a bit more on the politically charged, even though the lyrics are not politically charged at all in my opinion. But I know what I was trying to write about. And Red Hot Chili Peppers, which I don't hear that much now, but in the beginning it was there for sure. What did the production look like? As I said, the song was written a couple of years back, and I have had a lot of difficulties connecting with. I usually have that. If I write a song and I take too long to actually record it, to print it and release it, I want to revisit everything. I'm just impatient with that, right? I listen to it many times and I'm like, oh, no, I don't like this anymore. Let's change this just for the sake of change. That's something I'm trying to learn, to just leave it be and sit still there. But for example, in the beginning, the riff has this octave with the guitars going there, but the early versions were literally very Nirvana, and it was just a power chord going. The difference is not that huge, especially when I try to show it like this, but to me it's quite massive in the sound, like changing to a one note with the octave versus the full power chord changes, I think, the vibe of the song to me. And of course, a very special detail on the production there is in the voiceover in the beginning, in the intro of the song. We have our friend Cisco. We asked him to record it, and the intention was that it was taken from a speech that Che Guevara did in the United Nations Assembly. I think it was 1964. And there's a part of that speech that I particularly liked, and I didn't want to rip off the audio and just put it in. I wanted to re-record it and use it there, throw it there. And of course, with Che being Argentinian and Cisco also coming from Argentina, I just thought, initially we thought good to have someone who speaks the language natively, and then Cisco just came immediately to mind. So I think it was very special for us to have him participating in the voiceover. The last detail I could mention, which is not that crazy, but to me it was a different, trying something new, which was the guitar solo was taken from the demo that we did. I usually with the demos just explore, like fiddle around with the solos, and for the production you would re-record things and just bang your head against the wall to find the perfect thing. And this time I kept trying something in the studio, and Philip was saying, not there, and I was also not convinced, and then we just said, let's just keep the thing from the demo. I think that was a cool one. That was a cool performance. To me, it was eye-opening, just to on the production side, just to open up our minds to see, okay, if something is serving the song, just use it. You don't need to re-record it 100 times until you have the perfect take. There are a lot of imperfections in that take, but we both really liked it. And then to wrap it up on this song, what this song means to me, I think after writing it, both the intentions I have when I first wrote the song, the lyrics, and then afterwards, I think it's a song about not being afraid to stand for your principles, not being afraid to, have a straight spine and say, this is what I believe in. There's a sentence also in the song saying, what is your flag, right? What do you stand for? Which is something I'm asking myself many times. And that's the kind of reflection and questioning I wanted to bring to the audience. And I think this song is a lot about life not being about binaries. So there are a lot of gray zones. So also in there's a bridge pre-chorus section in the song where I'm going, I'm not that innocent, right? And that sentence is trying to refer to the character, the protagonist of the song, Che Guevara, right? He's not innocent, and none of us are. I think, innocent. There are good stuff we do, there's bad things we do, but it's a bit about, in my personal journey, seeing things, the gray zones, right? The different shades available, and not only like zeros and ones, right? Either one side or the other. So this is what this song's about. Bye bye.